our ability to protect the river is gone. We have farmers, we have miners, we have the logging that denudes the forest that ends up being fallow land. In 2002, we had what we called a fish kill. And we've had these fish kill before, but it was really phenomenal because you had 80,000 fish that were 20 and 30 pounds. We had 80,000 fish die on the Klamath River. And it was because the water was lethal. Because there was little water in the river. The water was had dissolved oxygen. And because there were parasites in the river that adhered to the fish, they became sick and their gills became infected and they couldn't process oxygen. And there was no oxygen in the water. Anyway, south of the Oregon border is where the Copco Dam is. And I was there, and the water is so brown and polluted because of either from the farmlands or from the dairy ranches where the water runs off, that it doesn't even reflect the sky. That the water is so brown that a couple 3 feet from the edge of the water is you can't see the bottom of the lake. My granddaughter is 15 years old, and we have such a diminished capacity of the fish in this river that when she becomes a grandmother, she will not have anything to offer her children.
10 years ago, 1996, when I was wanting to do ceremony in my backyard in an urban setting, I had to deal with the police for almost 5 years to be able to do that. Now it's very respected, and I go out to other urban communities to help people set up the way that they can do ceremony, and I think that we need the protection of the police rather than the harassment, and Indigenous people need to to be able to live the life the way they, it was the Hidalgo treaties guaranteed Native people to live the way they were used to, which means free access to the oceans, to the rivers. Now in Sonoma County, Native people, we can't go gather seaweed and clams. We have to pay for a permit, and I think that Native people should have free access to all the rivers and waterways. That was one of the Hidalgo Treaty agreements, and free access to wild crafting for basketry and medicinal foods in all of their traditional areas.
When we talk about the white deerskin dance, we make the medicine that rebuilds the world. So the flint man carries the obsidian blade across the dance ground, and he cuts the world open. And we allow the badness to leave to go to the end of the universe. And so it is our prayers, it is the medicine of the medicine people that pray on the dance ground that allows the world to be renewed, that we fix the world again. And this fixing the world is how we are termed the world renew religion.
So recently, it was illegal for us to pray in public. The United States is the only place that Indigenous, Native Americans live. There's no other country. We can't go down to Mexico, or we can't go over to Africa. There's not some big continent where there's a whole group of people that we can eat. It's the only place that we are. So I think always to be included, always to be remembered, to anytime anything's being spoken, just to include the Indigenous people. We've been plodding along as women, as Indigenous people for a lot of generations, and now it's turning around, where people are really getting the understanding to work together to preserve human rights and dignity for every person that's on this earth. And I think that's great.